Hello and welcome to The Reporter, a news and current affairs program that goes beyond the headlines, bringing reporters from the field to give first-hand accounts and in-depth analysis of unfolding issues, correspondents' perspectives, ensuring balanced, credible, and comprehensive storytelling. Welcome once again. I am Anieti Patrick. It's good to have you join us today on the program. Let's quickly take our focus to Benue State. Governor Hyacinth Alia has condemned the killing of 22 persons, including a police officer, in renewed attacks on Awase and Abade communities in Kwande local government area of Benue State. The governor, who led heads of security agencies on an on-the-spot assessment of the affected areas, has pledged improved security deployments and infrastructure to curb further violence. Our Benue State correspondent, Felicity Ndere, tells us more.
These are some of the deserted communities in Kwande local government area following the recent attacks by unknown gunmen suspected to be armed Fulani herders.
What you are seeing now is the resurfacing of the attacks, and this is why I have to be here myself to encourage people to strengthen them.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, while condemning the attacks, described them as unprovoked and unacceptable, and assured residents of strengthened collaboration with security agencies and the provision of necessary logistics to restore peace in the affected communities.
Road work from Jatoka, Nihimba, Tomotan, and two other settlements by the road before Awase are treated. So we'll take care of that, and there's no network here. Again, it's one immediate work I need to be on top of to ensure that they have very good network.
The Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Benue State Command, said communities in Benue State have endured years of repeated attacks by armed men, resulting in numerous deaths and the displacement of thousands.
The community made mention that at the Cameroon boundary, very close to Jukun area of Taraba, there is an exit and the entry point of these armed herders. So if we can deploy the military to secure those areas, I think they will not be able to penetrate this axis.
Residents and local authorities have called for increased security presence to prevent further attacks.
We can't have bandits in the forest who will come out, kill people at will, freely, and then go back and live in those forests, and then nothing is happening. So I also urge the federal government to liaise with the state government so that we can bring succor to these people.
So the in-law now sent a message that they should tell his in-law to do away with his sister, because there will be a serious attack to Abande. So we now prepare that let them come. But on the market day, everybody was not stable, so we all went to the market, and they now came.
Why I say so is that anytime we are to experience an attack, the security here will have one excuse or the other that will make them not to be present, and immediately they are absent, they will experience an attack.
Benue State, known as the food basket of the nation, plays a critical role in Nigeria's food security framework. Residents fear that continued attacks could disrupt farming activities, drive up food prices, and threaten the safety in their ancestral homes. In Kwande, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global Television News.
Well, while we put our thought to see how Felicity can join us on the report, let's quickly turn our focus to Owerri rather. Barely a week after the new Commissioner of Police assumed office, the Imo State Police Command says it has recorded major breakthroughs in crime fighting operations across the state, with several suspects arrested and victims rescued. Our correspondent in Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, completes the story.
Addressing journalists at the command headquarters in Owerri, the Commissioner of Police, Audu Garuba Bose, said the success followed coordinated operations involving police tactical units, sister security agencies, and community stakeholders. Within the period under review, police arrested 15 suspects for offenses including kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism, terrorism, child trafficking, murder, and stealing. The operations also led to the rescue of a kidnapped victim and a stolen child, both of whom have since been reunited with their families.
Within this period, the command arrested 15 criminal suspects for offenses such as kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism, terrorism linked to IPOB, ESN, child trafficking, murder, and stealing. Through coordinated operations, one kidnapped victim and one stolen child were rescued and reunited with their families.
Police operatives also recovered several firearms, ammunition, explosives, stolen motorcycles, communication gadgets, and other items linked to criminal activities across the state. In what the command described as a major breakthrough, 5 suspected members of a kidnapping and terror network operating in Uguta local government area were arrested with firearms and explosives recovered during the operations. Police further disclosed that information provided by one of the suspects led investigators to shallow graves in a forest area where bodies of alleged victims were exhumed.
During interrogation, Chinonso Ugochukwu, aka Bob Adam, an IPOB ESN sub-commander aged at 1 year old, confessed to the group's involvement in series of kidnappings or murder and provided information which led to the recovery and exhumation of several corpses buried in shallow graves in the forest, among which is alleged corpse of Pastor Chima, one Jeremiah, and one Ugochukwu Obaoze, all of Osuobodu in Oguta local government.
The police commissioner commended officers involved in the operations and assured residents that efforts to dismantle criminal networks across the state will continue. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
All right, joining us live from Owerri is our correspondent Amarachi Ibe. Amarachi, how you doing? It's good to have you join me on The Reporter. Amazing. So let's quickly talk about this issue of insecurity that is becoming more alarming with what was seen from your report. With 15 suspects arrested, victims rescued, and weapons recovered within just 1 week in office, could this signal a new turning point in the fight against crime in Imo State? I am barely hearing you right now, so I think we have a technical glitch there, but let's see if we can get you back on track so I can possibly hear you very well, because I know there's a whole lot to talk about this. Then we need to actually look at what needs to play out with this insecurity issue. Please check if you've unmuted yourself as well so that I can hear you properly. To you, I will see how we can fix that. Let's get back earlier to Felicity, who is now ready for us to talk on the issue that's playing down on the insecurity as well in Benue State. Felicity Ndera, it's good to have you join me on The Reporter. How are you doing today? Felicity, can you hear me? Kwande, claiming structure be enough to end the cycle of violence in Benue communities. Go ahead. Let's quickly take this break here. When we come back, we'll find out from Felicity how much is done to tackle this recent attack in Kwande local government. We'll be right back.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpha.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Back on the reporter, we apologize for that technical glitches there, but let's quickly turn our focus to some health issues before we get back to the issue of insecurity across the two states, Owerri and Benue State. The federal government has called on traditional and religious leaders across Nigeria to play a critical role in improving healthcare delivery nationwide. The coordinating Minister Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, made the call during a press briefing ahead of the National Traditional and Religious Leaders Summit on Health 2026 in Abuja. Sarau Nasiru was there for Global Television.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Fateh, says traditional and religious leaders are key influences in their communities, especially when it comes to maternal and child health. He explained that the summit aims to sensitize Nigerians and strengthen collaboration with community gatekeepers.
Traditional and religious leaders are so vital in our country that we also have to engage them as a group for the roles that they have played in immunization, in maternal and child health and other areas, TB, HIV, but they can also do more. But they also will be able to bring the perspectives of their citizens, of the people in the areas where they are, so that they can further help us refine our ideas.
Professor Fati added that the summit will also feature discussions on a policy dialogue on Nigeria and the United States memorandum supporting national response to HIV, tuberculosis and malaria.
We will use the opportunity also to have a structured dialogue on the Nigeria-US MOU for supporting HIV, TB and malaria. So the briefing, of course, is to share with you some of what we will also share, whether it's on the Health Fellows Program or on the US-Nigeria MOU.
The ministry says engaging these influential community figures is a strategic move to bring healthcare closer to the people and ensure more effective health interventions nationwide. Zahra Unasir, reporting for Global TV.
And joining me right now is Zara Nasir to bring us up to speed how that event played out today. Hello Zara, it's good to have you join us on The Reporter. How are you doing? To this, can Nigeria's traditional and religious leaders become the game changers in improving maternal and child health outcomes across communities?
As you know, that the evolution of traditional and religious leaders in health initiatives is a crucial strategy for improving community health, reducing health disparities, and also ensuring the sustainability of interventions, particularly in Africa and other regions where these leaders are deeply revered. So as custodians of cultural values, these leaders served as trusted messengers who can bridge the gap between biomedical science and community peace, often holding more authority than national health personnel. So, are you getting me? The Minister of the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Fati, explained that the upcoming summit, that is the National Traditional and Religious Leaders Summit, aims to sustain Nigerians and strengthen collaboration with community gatekeepers, which are traditional and religious leaders. He also mentioned that as part of the reasons behind the engagement of these leaders is to collaborate with them whenever there is an outbreak of any disease. They will help in disseminating correct information on prevention measures, and they'll also be helping with mobilization of people during vaccination time for people to take their children.
I see that you talk about this, that they stand as the game changers in terms of collaboration and also gatekeepers to ensure that they look out for vaccines, measures and all that, because I also wanted to ask about them being gatekeepers to boost Nigeria's fight against HIV, tuberculosis and malaria cases, as it may be for them.
Yes, are you with me?
So if you understood what I said, it was a simple thing. I asked that you talked about collaboration as the
discussions on a policy.
How would this also stand in the fight against HIV, tuberculosis and malaria as well?
Yes, during the press briefing, the minister, that is Professor Muhammad Alifati, added that the summit will also feature more discussions on policy dialogue on Nigeria and United States memorandum supporting the national response to the HIV, tuberculosis, and the malaria.
All right, Zara, thank you so much for being a part of the program. Let's quickly turn our focus and see if we can have Sports guy, join us. The chairman, National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, has inaugurated a 28-member local organizing committee for the second edition of the African Youth Games scheduled for Abuja in 2027, with a clear mandate to organize the best ever staged youth games on the continent. Samuel Odi was there for Global TV.
The chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, while inaugurating the 28-member local organizing committee in Abuja, charged members of the committee to deliver what it described as the best African Youth Games ever staged on the continent. He assured the committee of the commission's full backing and reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to hosting a game that meets international standards.
For Nigeria, hosting these games is a statement. It says that we believe in grassroots sports. It says that we believe in education, and sport must work hand in hand with education. And it says that we are ready to play our role in shaping the next generation of African leaders, whether in sports or beyond.
Also speaking, Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Olopade, said hosting the 2027 African Youth Games aligns with the Commission's Renewed Hope initiative for Nigerian sports ecosystem, which places strong emphasis on sports production and youth development.
It pushes the agenda of saying that we must be a manufacturing, producing country in sports rather than a consuming one. And this competition will go that far to showcase that.
Chairman of the newly inaugurated local organizing committee, Lekon Abiri, commended the leadership of the commission for ongoing reforms in the sports sector. He pledged that the committee would work with dedication, transparency, and professionalism to deliver a historic and a memorable game. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
All right, joining me right now is Samuel Odi to bring us up to speed on how that inauguration went down there at the National Stadium. Samuel, it's good to have you join me on The Reporter.
It's always good to be here to bring more insight of what happened.
It looks like this time around you're going to be at this end. Let's quickly get down to this. There's a whole lot happening at the National Sports Commission and a whole lot to be talked about ahead of a lot of games for 2027. Right now, there's a 28-member local organizing committee that's been inaugurated. Can Nigeria truly deliver the best African Youth Games ever staged, and what must be done differently to achieve that goal? Because we know that it's all about grassroots development for sports.
Well, we can't say without going on, because last year, let's talk about our track record first, because of what we did last year before the African continent agreed for Nigeria to host this time around. Last year, the National Sports Commission was able to host more than 15 international and local events, which propelled to what we had, and then the bidding for this hosting it was just flawless, because everything was handed over to the National Sports Commission and Nigeria, and the city Abuja will be hosting it, and the event itself has been tagged Abuja 2027. So it shows that the National Sports Commission, they are doing their bidding well, what they promised Nigerians to take care of the grassroots. So talking about what needs to be done more to improve all of these, it can't go without saying that we need a whole lot of more infrastructural development. Yes, did we get to see what class standards of events hosted in Nigeria as at last year? Yes, we saw it. Have we seen that happen over the years? Yes, we saw it. But one thing with the Nigerian spirit is like we like outdoing ourselves better than what we did before. So from the flag of the inauguration of the local organizing committee and the whole parade, like you also in the report, it shows that the National Sports Commission is ready and capable. And then the federal government of Nigeria already has thrown its weight behind the National Sports Commission to go ahead with every other event that we want.
Before I let you go, but apart from the African School Games, we also saw that the fact that another inauguration of the new board for the American football was also set in tone as well as a mandate with the renewed hope agenda of the president in terms of sports development and youth engagement. Can this this board harness Nigeria's abundant talents and build a thriving homegrown structure that should stand the test of time?
Yeah, most definitely. With what we have on the ground now, even starting with the National Niger Delta Games that will be coming up later this month, it shows that the calendar is choked already, it's packed, and the National Sports Commission is working towards achieving all of that. Now, looking at this organizing committee, yes, these are people that have been tested and trusted because the chairman National Sports Commission and also DJ would not bring those that they don't trust to deliver the goods of what the National Sports Commission and the Renewed Hope agenda is all about. So looking at all of those now, their track record is good. They've hosted and organized a lot of events, and then they are good to go. So far now, the ball is in their court because they have all of the supports that they need, and we're looking very, very good in terms of, hosting the African Youth Games later in the coming months.
All right. Thank you so much, Samuel Odi. Always a pleasure having him join me and talk about sports. But it's an amazing one, even though we had a bit of challenges there to hearing back from our correspondents across the state. But it's an amazing one here on the Reporter. We look forward to more engaging time with you. Thank you for being a part of the program. Don't forget that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. To stay connected, kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Anieti Patrick. Bye for now.